friends, welcome or welcome back to the Blue Butterfly Tarot. Today we're looking specifically into a no contact and or separation situation. What are they currently thinking? And I've got two piles for you. This is pile number one, this is pile number two. Pile number one is Midnight City Tarot, and pile number two is the Butterfly Wisdom Tarot. Take your time, see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to. I do want to say this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If one pile's messages don't resonate, then choose the other. If both piles' messages don't resonate, then it just means that maybe there aren't any messages for you in this video today. But I do hope that at least one of the pile's messages do resonate. Please be careful of scammers. I would never reach out to you asking you to follow or subscribe or book a private reading. So just please be a little bit careful about that. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. I'm going to give you a few seconds now to see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to, and then I shall begin. Hi pile one, for those of you who chose Midnight City Tarot, this is going to be your reading, alright? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes, think of your person, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Alrighty pile one. Specifically for a no contact and or separation situation, what is your person currently thinking? Everyone's person thinking. We have the Empress, we have the Ace of Cups, the Hanged One. We have 7 of Coins, 9 of Coins, Temperance, and we have the 3 of Coins. Okay, give me a few seconds. I also have your Oracle cards. We're going to get into those as well. Okay, we have As a Man Thinketh, so he is with 26. We have Morganite, I accept the love the universe has for me. We have Kali, I embrace the light and dark. Together they make me whole. We have Energy with vitality, enthusiasm, and spirit, and then we have the Buffalo. Okay. Your person's taking time out. I think that they might not be very social at this point in time. I think that they're very, very withdrawn. But the thing is, even if on the surface it seems like nothing's happening, there's actually just a lot of internal growth that's happening within your person. It might not be physical changes with them, but internally there's a lot that's shifting in their thought process, in their acceptance of what is meant for them. I think that this person had a very, very rigid thought process about how they wanted their life to shape up or what was happiness to them. But I think that there is a change going on with your person right now. Maybe they never made time for love. Maybe they never made time for connections. Maybe they were only focused on kind of giving themselves a very luxury lifestyle is what's coming through very strongly for me. And what your person's realizing at this point is that they have actually missed out on connections. And I don't just mean romantic connections. I also mean in terms of platonic connections. This is someone who, let's say, for example, didn't understand the value of genuinely connecting with other people. They just thought that maybe it was just an energy drain. It's possible that this person might have been around people who were very misaligned or had a lot of karmic partners or even just karmic contracts to be fulfilled in this lifetime. So it's possible that your person seems to associate people with, you know, just the karmic debt that's being repaid, and so a lot of pain. So your person, I don't think that they've actually experienced a genuinely supportive connection, and that by itself made your person feel, okay, well, I don't have time for this. If it's anyway going to drain my energy, I might as well not invest in it. This is the message coming to me is even if you reached out to this person, they told you, okay, well, I'm going for therapy, and then you say, okay, well, that's amazing, you're working on yourself, and then you tell them, okay, well, but if you do need a friend to, probably just talk to or just spend time with, just help you, this person would have been like, no, that's okay, no thanks, because I'm going to therapy, that should work everything out. But what your person is understanding is, while therapy is a really, really great resource, it's an amazing tool to help you with your healing, there are certain aspects of your own internal healing that can only happen when you are in a safe and loving connection. Doesn't have to be romantic, it could be platonic, it could be familial as well. And that is something that your person is understanding as missing in their life. So they've done the healing work per se on themselves, or they're probably doing it, but they're realizing that no matter how much of resources they tend to look externally, there are always going to be these small gaps within themselves and their healing that can only be fulfilled when you are around a person who is safe for you, a person who is aligned for you, or even just a societal, or even like a community that makes you feel safe and held and supported. All right, so that is something that your person's understanding right now. So there's a lot of, I guess, first off, I would say that there is this, how do I say this? This a little bit of sadness coming through, where they feel they've missed out on opportunities of really secure connections, but at the same time, I don't think that your person's missed out per se. I think that they were not ready to handle it when there were people who were ready for them. And I also think that other connections in your person's past may have been more of, like I said, karmic contracts that your person had to fulfill. So it wasn't their fault. And I think that your person has done a lot of healing in order to kind of bring this new energy within them to accept love from the universe, and as a result of that, accept love from other people. Learn how to rely on other people. Learn how to take in their support rather than pushing it away. Learn how to trust that, not everybody is out to get them. Because yes, I understand that, when you go through a series of life experiences that constantly keep teaching you that people are not to be trusted, sometimes it's scary, right? It's scary to start trusting. But what your person is learning, and I feel like they've done a lot of internal work, like a lot of self-healing work, could have even gone to therapy to get them to a point where they're open to receiving love from people around them. So it's kind of like the thought process is shifting within them. And I think that your person's understanding that, maybe with the buffalo coming out, it's a very, very masculine energy. And I think that your person may have kind of suppressed a part of them that thought that they needed love, like maybe thought, okay, well, that's not being a coat. And I feel like saying it in coat because gender doesn't matter. That's not, how a person should be, or that's not how a man should be. It doesn't matter of the gender of your person, but I think that they may have felt ashamed of wanting love in their life or wanting a safe connection, and that by itself may have pushed them to suppress. But all of those are kind of washing away at this point. With Kali coming out, it's like light and dark. What your person's understanding is, yes, there are going to be connections that drain you. There are going to be connections that are unsafe, but that doesn't mean that there aren't any connections that can make you feel safe, that can make you feel aligned, that can be a support system for you. And your person's learning that it is up to their discretion. They get to choose which connections to invest energy in, rather than saying, oh, I don't want any connections at all, I don't want to be around anybody. Your person's understanding that they can choose to be around people who are very, very supportive of them. And I would not be surprised if you are one of the people in their life who they feel intuitively that they can rely on you, that they feel safe with you, that they feel like themselves around you. And I think that energy, as they resolve this, as they kind of work through this thought process, they're actually coming closer and closer to you, and they're starting to be more and more open to your love. This doesn't have to be a romantic connection, though I am getting that for some of you it is, but this could be a platonic connection. This could also be a familial connection. All right? There's a lot of internal changes going on, even if there is nothing, absolutely nothing on the surface. Because with the Hangman and the Seven of Coins coming out, I think that there is absolute, like, it's pin drop silence. And that might be, and I'm hearing eerily silent between the two of you. So that might be very uncomfortable. Like sometimes silence, you know, can get a little bit loud, right? So I think that you might be wondering, well, are things changing? Is it, you know, is anything even happening? But yeah, there's actually a lot that's happening within your person, right? They're realizing that they can choose. They can choose to be around people who feel safe for them. I would not be surprised if your person may have been around people who were controlling them, manipulative, constantly berating them. And I am specifically actually seeing a very feminine figure that might not have been very nurturing, or might have been nurturing only if your person was showing up in a particular way. Would not be surprised if that has been the dynamic. And it looks like your person's like slowly cutting ties, or they're realizing that those connections were never aligned for your person, and they're starting to realize that they can move away from it, and they can reach out to connections that feel safe, that feel good, and that feel like you're being supported, right? So it's kind of like a new beginning that your person wants for themselves, for their life. And I think that you come into the picture because, well, we're asking for you, right? So I think that you are, I wouldn't say that you're the only one, but I will say that you are part of a very trusted group for this person. And they might not have wanted to lean on you or trusted the love that you had for them, but they're beginning to. Right? Initial stages, though, I will say, initial stages of opening up, there's still a little bit of, I mean, we have two which talk about pause, so it's going to take a bit of time for the person to fully accept this energy and start embodying it more in 3D, I guess I would say. Yeah, Four of Coins. It's going to take time. It's going to take time, Pal One. All right. What you can do is let this person be. All right. They have to learn how to open up themselves. You know, nothing that you say or do, you know, how much of a reassurance you want to give this person, it has to come from within them, because I think that they've just been through so many life experiences that they, and I also would not be surprised if the people who were manipulating and controlling them kept telling them, oh, you know what, you can rely on me, and you can, I care so much about you, and I want the best for you, and then they would end up controlling and manipulating this person. You know, so I do sense a little bit of mistrust with the Four of Pentacle energy there. I do sense a little bit of mistrust on your person's end, so they need to come to that conclusion on their own. There's nothing that you can say or do at this point except to embody your energy and trust that your person will interpret that energy the more they open their heart, right? Will interpret the energy in an aligned way. Yes, that was the correction. Yes. All right. Pawan, this is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you were looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. But if this is where you'd like to leave me, then I just want to say thank you so much for all your love and positive energy, whether it's with like, share, subscribe, comments. The tips that I send in watching my page ads, those are the ways that I feel your love and positive energy, and I'm really, really grateful for it. Palma, take care, trust your intuition, you always have free will. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, Pal 2. For those of you who chose the Butterfly Wisdom Tarot, this is going to be your reading, all right? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes. Think of your person. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Alrighty, Pal 2, specifically for no contact and or separation situation, what is your person currently thinking about you, about this connection, about themselves? Let's take a look. I feel like putting that here. I feel like taking one more, so we're going to take one more. Hold on. Sorry, I feel like taking one particular one. I don't know why. Put that aside. Okay. Let's see, we have the Five of Swords, we have the Seven of Wands, we have the Three of Swords, we have the Eight of Swords. What is going on with your person? Temperance, Seven, oh my gosh. How's you? King of Disc, King of Pentacles, and what was this that wanted to come out? King of Swords, okay, makes sense, all right. Your person's really, really struggling right now. How to, this is more of aspirational energy, like they want to get into a more solid state, someone who has clarity, someone who knows what is happening with their life, someone who is in control of their situation rather than running along with whatever is going on. But right now your person's in a lot of pain. Hold on, I actually just completely forgot that I had your oracle cards. Deepest desires are here. Peacock 1, I release anything blocking me from reaching a higher dimension of spirituality. We have Amaterasu, Amaterasu. Okay. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Apathy. And we have oyster. Yes, a lot of hermit energy over here, a lot of energy going within. This person's not in the state to talk to anyone. I would not be surprised if this person's dealing with some mental health issues as well, with oyster and apathy coming out, and so much of sword energy. It's kind of like the energy that your person wants to be is in control of their situation, of their life, but they can't at this point in time. They're not able to figure out a path. They feel very boxed in. They feel that nothing is in their control at this point in time. I don't know what's gone down between the two of you. It could also be external circumstances, but your person's deepest desire is to be someone that they can look up to. And I think that your person right now, their perception of themselves as well is very, like, because they're not able to find a solution, your person's constantly berating themselves instead of, realizing that maybe they have to go through this experience in order to come to this energy. They have to go through it rather than, having the solution even before they go through it. And sometimes there is pause, there is that chaos that you have to just sit in order for you to realize the transformation that needs to go on within you. And during that phase, I think that there is a tendency to be harsh on ourselves because we're not able to figure out what's going on, but sometimes we are not meant to. Sometimes we just have to experience the chaos. Sometimes we just have to experience the problem, the pain that comes with it, possibly the inner imbalance that comes with it, so that we know the contrast, so that we work towards the contrast, right? And I think that that is something that your person right now, it's two nascent energies, I guess I would say, so they're not even realizing at this point in time, but this is where they're going to get to. All right, a lot of how would I say, I definitely see mental health struggles over here. And if this person has not been able to respond to you or talk to you or say anything, it's because they just cannot. I think that there's just so much going on within them that even telling you that they need space is just, it's too much of a struggle. I don't think that they themselves can admit it to themselves that they need to go within, that they need to kind of take a step back from the world. Like I said, I think that this person is perceiving all of their needs at this point in time as something that is not supposed to be. Like, if they feel like they need to go within, then they're telling themselves, okay, well, that's not right. Why are you doing this? You're completely changing your personality. And then they might be berating themselves for doing that, for wanting some space, to wanting to go within. So even that, it seems to be painful for your person to admit it to themselves that they need help, or that they're struggling, or that they just need space at this point in time. They feel very, very ashamed about it. But one thing that's coming through is, it is through this process that your person is going to learn how to release whatever it is that's blocking them, whether it is limiting beliefs or their behavioral patterns that could be working against them. Maybe it's time to shed that layer. It could even be some kind of narrative of a wound that they had before that they need to change out of, or they need to shift in a more healthier perspective or more healthier energy, or they need to let go of whatever has been holding them back from kind of holding light from within. I think that this person, I would not be surprised if they've gone through life being motivated by pain, you know. So I think that this person might have been through a lot of painful experiences in their life where if they had to make a change, it was constantly motivated by pain. And that by itself kind of put a lot of darkness in your person's heart, you know. Just they seem to gravitate towards darkness because they feel comfortable, because they've been through it so many times that they know it's something that's expected, rather than moving towards light because it's unknown, they don't know how to hold it within them. So I think that your person through this process is learning how to let go of their need to constantly find darkness, to constantly keep looking for it, or even creating it. Sometimes that can happen as well, you know. Constantly keep creating it, and instead start being motivated by light, by love, you know, with the amaterasu. I hope I pronounced that correctly, right? With that, I feel that's where your person's shifting into. But I have to say, Paltu, this is very, very far away energy. Your person's, they're struggling. They're really struggling at this point. Like, they have a vision of where they want to get to, but because it is so far away, like, look at this. We have so much of the sword energy. We have, you know, just constantly wanting to be better. There's even internal conflict coming through, and they want to be the king. That's the end. And up until that point, there's a page, there's a knight, there's a queen, and then the king. But they won't, there's a little bit of skipping, yes. It's kind of like the end point that they see themselves as much as it is helpful for them, it is also working against them, because they're not appreciating their progress to page or to knight or to queen. Anything less than that is just something that they are looking down upon. It's only and only if they reach the king status that your person feels, oh, okay, well, I've achieved something, or I'm in control. But no, even the baby steps that your person's taking is actually them stepping into control. The chaos is meant to be there at this point in time. And, you know, just because there is no chaos just because there is chaos doesn't mean your person isn't progressing or they aren't doing a good job of handling the situation. And I think that is also an understanding that your person is going through at this point in time. But I will say, very, very far off energies. This is it's going to take some time for your person to start, I guess, feeling better about themselves, start recognizing their progress, even if it isn't as big as they want it to be, or even if it doesn't look like how they think it should look, right? So a lot of healing going on. But first, before healing, honestly, there's a breakdown of their life, and there's a little bit of them going through that chaos right now, and then through that, their healing will begin. It's going to take time though, Patu, all right? Look at the amount of sword energy. Your person's really, really... the situation could be dire. I'm not saying that it's not, but I think that there is also a layer where your person's making it much more worse with their own thought processes that are not healthy and are working against them. So all of that needs to be cleared out, you know? So that's what's happening right now with your person. Let's see, one message for you. Ace of Discs. Yes, it is through this. It is through all of this, this situation. Okay, we have a Knight of Discs. Yes, I told you. The person will get there. They have to start recognizing that whatever progress they're making, that's still amazing. You know, they need to start feeling proud of themselves, of even the small steps that they're taking, because that is what your person is learning at this point. Remember how I said knight, page, knight, queen, and then king? Yeah, that's the progress, that your person's learning how to accept within themselves, that it's never going to be a leap, like a giant leap into healing. No, it's very, very incredibly minute steps. You know, sometimes you go backwards, you go forwards, you go in circles, but those are still part of the progress. And I think that that is also one thing with discs coming out. The word in particular is shining out to me. So I think that your person's realizing that sometimes, you know, healing, it's not going to look linear. It's actually not linear at all. Sometimes you'll go in triangles, you'll go forward, backwards, you'll go in circles, but that's still progress. You know, it doesn't have to, progress doesn't necessarily mean a straight line going upwards. No. And that is something that your person is realizing right now, or at least they will realize, because for some of you, it's still it's still very nascent. I feels like too big of a jump for me to say that they are realizing. For some of you though, for others of you, yes, I do feel that your person is going through the chaos, but they will get to this point. But for all of you, what I'm seeing is this is necessary. This phase is necessary. You know how when a seed germinates, you put it in the soil, then you add water. I don't know if you guys had that as a science experiment in school. We did. So we had to kind of put seeds and then watch it germinate. And for the first day or two, nothing happens. You don't see anything, right? And then suddenly, there's one tiny bit that comes from the bottom. And even through the periods where the seed is just a seed, you know it is going to germinate, right? How do you know that? That's the kind of thought process that I feel you are meant to have about this situation as well. That unwavering faith that your person will come out of this, that they will germinate. It's just a matter of pause right now, but that doesn't mean, or actually that confirms that it will grow. Right? So it's kind of like taking a look at the seed, right? You know it's going to grow. I mean, how do you know? You just know. It's not something anybody questions or anything like that. You just know. Even if you put it in the soil and for 2 days if nothing happens, you know that it will. It will take its time, but it will get there. The end point is certain. So I feel like that is the message that's coming through for you, all right? Okay, pile 2. This is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you're looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. But if this is where you'd like to meet, then I just want to say thank you so much for all your love and positive energy, whether it's with a like, share, subscribe, comments, the tips and watching my page ads. Those are the ways that I feel your love and positive energy, and I'm really, really grateful for it. Pile 2, take care, trust your intuition. You always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.